A very good morning to you. I'm Ryan Broom, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Wednesday, November the 2nd. In our top story, local vendors continue to try to hold their own as the country slowly returns to some semblance of normalcy in the wake of what many hope was the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Joining us live on the Morning Report to give us a sense of what is happening now on the ground with local vendors is President of the Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors and Entrepreneurs, Alistair Alexander. Good morning, Alistair.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Barbados.
Yes,
We
good morning
raise
to
a
you.
hallelujah this morning.
And amen to that. Well, I know it seems like such
Yeah.
a short time ago that we were in lockdown, and one of the key figures in us getting back to some degree of normalcy were vendors. But it seems like such a long time ago. What's happening now, though, on the ground with vendors? How are the vendors doing on the ground in terms of sales and everything else?
Well, let me, if I may, before I speak of that, the the fact that Parvin is now 20 years. We have celebrated 20 years last month. And because that there was an organized group called Barvin, when the pandemic struck this country, we could have orderly mobilized to serve this country with the assistance of government. And we are continually fighting. We are a very resilient, very resilient sector, one that recreates itself. And it is still a challenge as it is in all of the other sectors. But we are definitely, we are thankful for the ease in the protocols. We these are this has allowed us to execute plans to even be able to sustain ourselves and to move forward. So we are holding our own. As you know, um, even you would understand that the vending community, as predicted by Barvin since 2011, he had predicted that in a crisis, that this would be the sector that would rush to the rescue of Barbados. And you would know that is a fact. If you look all around, vendors are everywhere. The sector has expanded because people lost their jobs. Over it was like 40% of the working population was out of work at some point, and many of them turned to the mother of all economic enfranchisement, vending to support themselves.
Right, and so how are things going though in terms of I see markets are coming along. I know you have the Barvin market at the Mighty Grinder Highway, and then you have the newer markets there in Fairchild Street now. How are people settling in, and how is it going in terms of the Barvin market at Mighty Grinder Highway in particular? I know you have had some events and so on in recent times to bring even more foot traffic through there.
Again, we will tell the truth. In both markets, Fairchild Street Market, we have challenge as far as the spending power uh, that was once there for the average consumer is not there, and so we have that challenge. And again, as I said, we also have the fact that vending has expanded and that many persons are now vending. We who have been in the vending sector for a long time have of necessity had to share, okay, or what would have been, you know, a usual, what would have been our usual income, we have had to share. The Fairchild Street Market, lovely market, is poised though to the construction is the structure is as it should be. As Marvin again has played a major role in the type of the look, the outdoor look, the Caribbean look, the free look, the freedom look, okay, of that market, and they have their committee, their planning committee in, and they are ever planning programs to make sure that they are successful, to make sure that they are successful. The same is happening at the Barvin market. We are planning, we are continually planning. We're so glad and grateful for, as I said, the easing of the protocols so that even we could execute those plans. And just last month, we had our World Food Festival. That was also a celebration of the 20th year of Barvin. We had celebrations, and we are going to be having a special event for November for our National Day, and we are going to also be having special events for the Christmas season. You can come and for sure, enjoy an old-time Bajan Christmas, the Barvin Super Outdoor Market this year. But for it, some caroling and some and stock ban and such like, giveaways, all of that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just,
Yes.
just to wrap up, then it means then you all are looking forward to the Christmas season. I know there's supply chain issues in terms of some of the things that we don't necessarily produce here, but you're looking forward to the Christmas season to give you perhaps a bump coming into the end of the year then?
Definitely. We are looking forward. We definitely are looking forward. It is. It has been a great journey, and Christmas is that time of hope. That time of hope, and looking to we are looking to see great things. We are looking to see wonderful things,
Okay.
going before us.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We're going to leave it there.
Thank you so much.
That's Alistair Alexander, the president of the Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors, and Entrepreneurs, talking about what's happening in the vending sector and looking forward to what should be hopefully a Merry Christmas. Well, coming up on the CBC Morning Report, updates on the independence celebrations and also with the war in Ukraine.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Matchback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
There is a saying you can
Welcome back. Well, from this year, November 30th will be known as Barbados National Day. This has been revealed by Chairman of the Cabinet Subcommittee in charge of November 30th celebrations, Minister of Home Affairs and Information, Wilfred Abrams. At a media conference yesterday at Ilara Court, Minister Abrams said that for the first time in 2 years, due to COVID, there will be a full celebration of any and all things Barbadian for our 56th anniversary of independence and first anniversary as a republic.
The Cabinet of Barbados took the decision to henceforth observe November 30th as Barbados National Day, commemorating our independence from Britain in 1966 and our transition to parliamentary republic in 2021. Indeed, the national events on November 30th will culminate with an entire month of celebration comprising sporting activities, cultural and heritage-inspired activities, including the lighting ceremony which takes place this afternoon. The second humanitarian awards ceremony on November 20th, road tennis, as well as other sporting competitions. NIFCA events are back in full flight, and the Spirit of the Nation pageant, as well as some new events and new activities which will be publicized and promoted with an official calendar of Barbados National Day events coming out later this week.
And Minister Abrams also gave a sneak preview of some of the highlights for Barbados National Day.
The annual ceremonial parade, conferred of national honors and the presentation of leadership badges to the head boys and head girls of all public and private secondary and primary schools returned to Kensington Oval at 8 a.m. The uniformed groups will march in a ceremonial parade from Kensington to National Heroes Square, where the Prime Minister and the full cabinet will receive the salute. A toast to the nation reception in honor of the new National Honors awardees will take place at State House and be hosted by the President of Barbados. And the first Barbados National Day concert in Bridgetown will be a fitting finale to the day and month of celebration.
And as far as the Barbados National Day concert is concerned, National Cultural Foundation CEO Carol Roberts-Reefer noted it will be a three-pronged event.
On November 30th, for the first ever Barbados National Day concert, those three squares will come alive, free to the public, with those three projects: the 100 Voice project, the National Steel Orchestra, and the National Youth Orchestra. Just a few hours before that, during the ceremonial parade and the other activities Kensington Oval on the morning of Barbados National Day, we will also be coordinating a very special cultural presentation. The kernel of it started, Minister, on November 29th at the Pride and Nationhood event in National Heroes Square, where the Mass Police and Defence Force bands met up musically with a percussion contingent, again featuring tuk and drums. And we've taken that to another level. We're about to start rehearsals, and all I will say about that is that you should also come out to see that.
Well, meanwhile, Bridgetown's nightlife was transformed into a spectacular city of lights last evening after national junior swimmer Gabriela Babb flipped the switch around 6:10 p.m. This, as one of Barbados' favorite national traditions, returned this year with the Sagicor Life Incorporated lighting ceremony and Bajan Brew. As is customary, the nation's capital was illuminated in the national colors of ultramarine and gold, much to the delight of those gathered. Various performances punctuated the evening's event in a cultural showpiece. President Dame Sandra Mason headlined the dignitaries who filled Independence Square, along with cabinet ministers, parish ambassadors, officials, and onlookers. Member of Parliament for the City of Bridgetown, Corey Lane, said while the country has been feeling the negative effects of individualism, a move towards nationalism is on the way.
Some of the social ills that we see within the nation is because we've moved from that collective to the meism and the individualism. Though I am sad to report that I am happy and excited to say to you that a change is coming. A change is coming as we continue to support programs like the Caribbean Independence Celebration, where we can reflect not only in nationhood in November, but we reflect nationhood every single month, every single day of the year as we be proud Barbadians.
And as Executive Vice President and General Manager of Sagicor Life Incorporated, Paul Innes, said his company has been loyal to Barbados' development.
Our commitment, therefore, to Barbados remains unchanged, which is the reason we continue to be a part of this ceremonious occasion, as well as several other national events and programs throughout the year. This is the reason we continue to support and invest in our communities, because at the end of the day, we are here because of you, the people of Barbados, because of past generations, and because of our forefathers who laid the foundation for us.
To news from the war in Ukraine now, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has told his Turkish counterpart that Moscow would consider resuming a deal allowing grain exports from Ukrainian seaports, but only after securing real guarantees from Kyiv. This story and more in a roundup of updates on the war in Ukraine.
The Russian president held a phone call with his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Tuesday to discuss the deal. Moscow suspended its participation on Sunday in response to what it said were Ukrainian drone attacks on its fleet in the naval port of Sevastopol. The deal was brokered by Turkey and the UN in July to help ease the global food crisis. Russian missile strikes have destroyed half an apartment building and a school in the Ukrainian port city of Mykolaiv. At least one resident, believed to be an elderly woman, was killed in the attack. The strikes come a day after Russia targeted energy facilities across Ukraine. They caused power outages in a number of cities and water outages in the capital, Kyiv. A team from the UN nuclear watchdog is in Ukraine to investigate Russia's allegations that Kyiv is working to create a so-called dirty bomb. The IAEA says it's inspecting 2 sites after requests from the Ukrainian government. It's aiming to detect any possible undeclared nuclear activities. The Kremlin says Kyiv could use a dirty bomb containing nuclear material on its own territory as a false flag operation.
Well, time now to preview what's coming up on Mornin Barbados, and we say good morning to Pearson Boyd.
But good morning to you, Ryan, as well. And good morning, everyone. Ryan, coming up at 6:30 this morning, we'll be reintroducing you to Barbadian visual artist Sheena Rose. She'll be talking a little bit about her latest installation. We can't wait to hear about that and to celebrate it with her as well. Also coming up today, we'll introduce you to the services of a new medical center here on the island known as BioConnect Medical Center. What do they offer? You will find out this morning when you join me at 6:30. Also, we will be looking at promoting work-life integration. You've heard of work-life balance. What's the difference between that and work-life integration? We'll talk about it when we talk HR with Hermab. So stick around for that and a whole lot more when you join me at 6:30. Ryan, back to you.
Thanks so much, Pearson. We look forward to seeing you again at the bottom of the hour. But we'll have more news on the CBC Morning Report after this break.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Mornin Barbados.
Welcome back. Well, a new state-of-the-art training facility for fire officers is to be constructed in St. Lucie. This was revealed by Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard as the fire service received the keys for a new top-of-the-line tender. CBC's Sharika Griffith reports.
As local officials strive to have Barbados classified as Category 1 status with the International Civil Aviation Organization, efforts are being made to ensure firefighters assigned to the country's airport are properly trained.
We have to train persons specifically for airport firefighting. And right on this compound, we don't have that facility. But we're building out a state-of-the-art facility in St. Lucie to cater to airport firefighting and municipal firefighting, training in search and rescue and all the other aspects. The facility in St. Lucie is at Spring Garden in St. Lucie. It's government land, so we don't have to purchase that land. And it's about between 5 to 7 acres of land.
Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard made the revelation during the commissioning of a new fire tender for the airport. With the arrival of the new appliance, which was delayed approximately 6 months due to supply chain issues, the fire chief says the number of tenders stationed at the airport will remain at 4, as one will be retired.
These that we have, the one to your above you, these are all about 22 years old. And that is really old for fire appliance. Most countries retire their fire appliances at between 10 to 15 years.
Home Affairs Minister Wilfred Abrams said after being briefed by the fire chief of the urgent need for at least 3 new tenders, Cabinet approved the purchase of the new truck received today, along with 2 others at a price tag of about $3 million.
This tender, crash tender for use at the airport alone took out 1.4 million of that budget. But as you can see when they show you the inside, you will see where the differences lay, and if you can appreciate it, what is required in the crash tender for use at an airport or around aviation fuel or specific circumstances, that is not the same crash tender that you would go out to a house fires.
As for the other 2 tenders, Minister Abrams says they're in production. They will be deployed to the Bridgetown and St. John fire stations. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Well, the central bank in the Bahamas is reassuring there's no recession right now in the country. That's the word from the governor, John Roll, as he released the latest economic report. We hear more in this Our News report.
Despite global predictions of a recession, Central Bank Governor John Roll says this is unlikely due to pent-up demand in the tourism sector. The news came during the bank's quarterly economic press briefing Monday morning.
We are experiencing and benefiting from the pent-up demand for travel that was not met or satisfied at the height of the pandemic. And that recovery for us is going to overpower, some of the other negative trends that are out there in the global environment.
Johns Hopkins University economists are predicting a whopper of a recession in 2023 for the United States. And they're not the only ones. Back in August, CNN reported 72% of economists expect a U.S. recession by the middle of next year. Despite these grim forecasts, Roll is saying otherwise.
Had the global environment presented itself even in a more favorable context, then the sort of recovery and growth that you see for the Bahamas would be even stronger.
Roll says the central bank is expecting the tourism sector to complete its recovery through 2023. He says the cruise market has eclipsed pre-pandemic levels.
Jair Bolsonaro says he will respect Brazil's constitution after his election defeat to Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, breaking nearly 2 days of public silence that fueled concerns the far-right leader was planning to reject the results. In a brief statement to reporters at the presidential palace in Brasilia last evening, Bolsonaro did not reference his loss in Sunday's runoff or concede defeat to Lula, but he thanked his supporters for their backing. While Bolsonaro had remained silent both in public statements and on social media, many of his supporters erected road blockades in anger about his defeat.
Police have been firing tear gas to try and get the vehicles to leave. Hundreds of roadblocks have been removed, but at least 300 remain. Bolsonaro has not yet conceded defeat and is expected to make a statement sometime on Tuesday. For more on this, let's bring in Monica Yanakev, who joins us live from Rio de Janeiro. Monica, Bolsonaro continues to remain out of the public eye. Are we any closer to knowing when he'll make a statement on the results?
Yes, indeed, and I hope this is not a false alarm, but the press, the local press that covers the Palácio do Planalto, which is the Brazilian equivalent to the White House, they've been called because they're expecting to hear from the president at any minute. Earlier today, President Jair Bolsonaro tried to have a meeting with Supreme Court justices before making any statement. They did not accept the invitation. Two of them did, but the rest of them did not, because they said that they would wait for him first to concede defeat. So after this deadlock, President Bolsonaro called some of his ministers and many more later on, and we're expecting to hear from him soon. It's been a long time waiting already, and it's caused a lot of disruption because there are many of those truck drivers that are causing the blockades, which have made companies cancel flights and everything. Those truck drivers were waiting for the president to talk so they would know what to do.
Yes, tell us a little bit more about those protests that are happening all around the country. We've seen some recent footage from Sao Paulo, but they're happening in many places. And what's the latest on those?
Well, they were happening in 26 of the 27 Brazilian states. The governors of 5 states, including the one from Rio de Janeiro, they issued orders for those blockades to be cleared immediately. The important thing about this is that the governor of Rio de Janeiro is a supporter of Bolsonaro. So Bolsonaro is losing ground among his allies. Also, people are very upset. People in general, whether they voted for Bolsonaro or not, they're upset because it's already disrupting the transportation of food to the supermarkets. So many people are upset. People don't go to work. There were flights that were canceled, buses that didn't leave for cities. So everyday life is being disrupted, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing to gain, because you can't just overturn an election result by stopping the country with trucks.
A look at sports now. In the ICC World Cup cricket action, the Netherlands defeated Zimbabwe by 5 wickets at Adelaide in their Group 2 clash earlier, after restricting the African nation to 117. The Dutchmen then made 120 for 5 in 18 overs. Meanwhile, India scored 184 for 6 against Bangladesh in their matchup. Virat Kohli smashed 64, while KL Rahul got an even 50. Bangladesh, in their reply, were 37 without loss after 4 overs. Well, meanwhile, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes defeated the Jamaica Scorpions by 68 runs in their regional Super 50 game. Scores in that match: the Leewards 270 for 9, with Raheem Cornwall top scoring with 81. Jamaica 202 for 9. Nkrumah Bonner made 44, and Brandon King got 32. And now to look at the weather. It's cool, 27 degrees outside right now, but it might feel more like 31 degrees. Humidity 87%. Barometric pressure 1013 millibars. Winds east-southeast at 18 kilometers per hour. There was no first low tide, but there's a second low tide at 5:28 p.m. First high tide is at 11:50 a.m. and the second high tide at 11:02 p.m. Seas moderate in open water, with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and increasing. The forecast for today: mostly cloudy with breaks of sunshine, with the occasional intermittent scattered moderate to heavy showers. And tonight, mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief scattered light to moderate showers. Now we'll look at some international city temperatures. Well, that's it for today's morning report. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Hi there, good morning to you indeed and welcome to today. Today is Wednesday, the 2nd of November, 2022. My name is Pearson Bowen. I'm so happy to have your company indeed. Thank you so much for joining us on our YouTube and Facebook streams. As always, good to see you interacting there. Keep the interaction going and talk to us as well. Speaking of which, coming up today, you'll have 2 opportunities to talk back to me when I ask you how well you know Barbados for a chance to get your name into that weekly draw to win some fantastic prizes, including staycations. So listen up for that opportunity in just a little bit. Also, I want to know how much you know about our Bajan sayings and the meanings and so forth. So 2 opportunities for you to engage with me this morning. Coming up today, we'll meet and hear more about Gimme Peace on the Mic. It's edition 2, and we'll hear more about it. We'll meet a couple contestants in that competition as well, all under the Division of Youth Affairs. We meet a gospel artist out of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. She's just signed with Quest Records, which belongs to a Barbadian, but we'll get to hear her brand new music, and we'll get to hear her story and her journey. Today we're talking about work-life integration. I know you thought I was going to say work-life balance. No, we're talking work-life integration. But what's the difference? When we talk HR with Hermab, we'll know the difference. We'll talk to you more about how HR managers can help in bringing about work-life integration. There's a new medical center known as BioConnect Medical Center. They're looking at menopause and a whole host of other conditions around females. We get to know more about the services and how you can avail yourself of those services as well. Let's get started this morning, though, by celebrating another outstanding Barbadian, Sheena Rose, a visual artist from this 246. Sheena Rose, good morning to you. Good to catch up with you. Turn on the mic. Your hair is so beautiful. I just want to make sure the voice is equally beautiful. How are you doing?
I am good, you know. Good morning, Pearson. Buenos dias.
You too. Buenos dias, bonjour. Ça va? Can't go any further, right? Very good. A petit peu. That's all right. That's all right. But what's going on with the hair? Explain that to me.
I am an artist. That's what's happening. You know, so I'm an artist. I felt like cotton candy last night. So I say, you know what? Let me just do it up.
Well, it's delicious indeed. Delicious looking indeed. Now, Sheena, you're one of those visual artists, right, who has had the time of their life. I mean, your work is on display here, your work is on display over there, and over there's Des Moines. And so I know the last time we spoke, we talked about that huge mural you've done at that international organization's headquarters. But what's the latest with you?
And the hospital, MSK.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
So what's the latest with you?
Well, the latest is good and bad. The good is I've been traveling a lot. Every month I've been going somewhere. I went to like Paris, Panama, Grenada, Dominica, New York, Chicago. So I've done a lot of traveling. The second thing is the Prime Minister, Mia Amor Motley, had nominated me for award for culture, and I started like excited and it was like, wow. I felt honored. But during that time, to be unfortunately for my family, my dad had passed. And mommy, are you on the phone? Sorry.
I love this. Seriously. Yes.
This is the second time this happened to me. Anyway. Mommy.
Yes.
So basically, I was saying that that my dad had passed. He died from cancer, and it was a blow to us. And I felt honored that I was part. Like when the Prime Minister have asked me to accept this award, I was in mixed emotions, and I was so like sad and excited because I know my dad would be proud. So it was a very awkward time for me, like sad time but celebrating time. So I was looking at celebrating him for being an awesome dad, having great parents, for accepting me. This is why my hair is like this. This is why I am so like honest and loud and proud and confident at moments, because my dad allowed me to be me. So that time was sad but very celebrating the same time. And then the bus shelters, Greater Des Moines Public Art Foundation, 6th Avenue Corridor, and DAR, they have invited me to show to celebrate the bus shelters. So we had a surprise, and I didn't want it to like announce it. I knew of it, but I didn't want to announce it publicly. I wanted to surprise everyone. And we revealed a bus that my company, Sheena Rose Inc., designed. So it was amazing. That what happened. That's the big celebration.
Wow. So I see where you say it's a mixture of good and bad. But you know, I just love the tribute that you pay to your father. And it is so important to hear children speak of their fathers, because fathers sometimes get a very bad rap. And it's good to hear the daughter of a father sharing in the way that you've shared. I really commend you, and it's good that you've had a wonderful relationship with him. And you continue to pay tribute, be inspired by that relationship with him as well. So was he there to see the bus that has been now carrying your artwork?
Unfortunately, no. He passed October 11th. So everything was happening so quickly. But fortunately, I've been in this art scene professionally for 15 years. So he has seen a lot of achievements, and I know he'll be very proud. So I'm glad he gotten the chance to see how much I have accomplished. But I know in spirit he would be very, very proud of what he saw there. What if he was alive? He would be very proud to see this.
Well, listen, I just got cold bumps watching this one that's on the screen right now. That's the bus with your work. Talk to me about this. I'm so excited for you right now.
It was amazing because I accustomed seeing my work on paper, on canvas, me doing performance art. And now I slowly getting accustomed seeing my work in like public spaces like a hospital, in a bank, in schools, and then bus shelters. To see your work transform from paper to all of a sudden three-dimensional. Now, 3D have always existed, but the idea that you could go beyond and like say, well, okay, this drawing, and it could be a jewelry, it could be this, it could be shoes, it could be a billboard. So when my team, Sheena Rose Inc., Richard Mark Rollins, we had to do a presentation, and he just joined us out with the bus, and he told me it's about Sheena Rose Inc., but I still would like to give him credit because as a designer, an artist and a designer, to just see this cup and all of a sudden transform it into something else, that's powerful.
You're right.
So when I saw when I saw my work on a bus and moving, it was so, I was overwhelmed. Because it is my brain calculating and trying to see how my work is moving and weaving into a city. And it's like, it's different than just seeing it stand still. It's moving, and it's moving, and people are going in it. It's for the public, it's for people to relate to it. I was just overwhelmed. I felt really, really happy, really proud of myself. But the biggest word for me is overwhelmed.
Wow. The way you've just described it, how you brought to life what the light, look at it, it's being unveiled right there for the, who's this? Is that you?
That's me. Everyone laughed. It was like so to give a bit of background of the work, of the colors, when I did the presentation, I found out I was against 70 people internationally and regionally.
Are you there?
Mommy, I on TV.
Oh, Mommy's
Sorry.
back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's telling me. Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, sorry. So when I did the presentation, I found out that I was up against like 70 people, and I didn't know that I was against all those people internationally and regionally. And I only found out when I was in Iowa, but they said that what made them connect to where it felt so honest, and it was about heavy research about Iowa. I think what artists need to know, especially here, it's not just painting your emotion. It's not just, yes, that's access, and yes, that's privilege of taking advantage of that and expressing your emotion in all kinds of forms. But what we also need to know is research, concept, and creating depth to the work. So when I was approached to do the bus shelters, I researched heavily on Des Moines, Iowa. I found out a lot about their finances and their community and how they try to diversify the space. So I look at colors that will bring vibrancy because I'm from the Caribbean. So I didn't want to be obvious. I wanted to add like red mean this, yellow mean welcoming, red mean diversity, green mean nurturing and gardening. So they could relate, even though they cannot recognize certain stuff. They do recognize some parts of their city. They recognize certain forms of people, but then also the feeling of it. I wanted people to feel welcome, to feel warm, to be somewhat distracted in a happy way while waiting on the bus. But now they're on the bus, and it's interesting to see the bus and the bus shelters in two different colors, like a moving collage.
Yes, yes.
So that's quite interesting. And the person that's waiting at the bus also become part of the art.
Well, is this the mummy you're talking about here, or someone else?
Yes, that's my mom.
That's the one that keeps interrupting you?
Yes, that he interrupted me, and she should know better.
That's all right.
Yeah, she was there. She was there being so happy and so proud of herself. And I guess like just proud of me and just like enjoying it because Iowa had their arms open and welcome for us. And that feeling of acknowledgement and seeing the depth of the work. I feel so glad and honored when people can have their interpretations, of course, but can feel and see where I was going with this. They might not hit everything, but at least they get the key points I was looking at.
But one of the things I also watched that was so fun to see you do, that as soon as it was unveiled, you ran, you jumped to everything, but you went for the Barbados flag. What did it mean to you to say, I have to show the world where I'm from? What did that mean to you?
It just showed that it's a small space, but we made big moves. You know, I felt proud to lift up my Bajan flag, my Barbadian flag. And what is funny too, that in Iowa, they made me officially Iowan. They say, you are officially Iowan. And I asked them if they have their American flag too, that I could lift all too, you know?
Yes, yes.
But it just felt good to lift that up and run. I felt like an athlete that won a race and grab the flag, you know, and run around the stadium. That's how I felt. I felt like an athlete, you know. I just felt like it was good time to show where I'm from.
There you go, and get the flag, and there it is, you know.
Let's see, I'm an athlete running.
Exactly, there she goes. She's reached the finish line and she's done it so well. But it's a beautiful representation of your own interpretation of life, and so I could see the outpouring of the spirit that you poured into all of it. Now, how do you work? Do you set yourself goals to attain, or do you just go as it goes?
Both. So like right now, my work is, as we always talk, Pearson, it's always something new coming up.
Yes.
And the more we talk, the more demands happening. Because as I mentioned, the value going up. The demands, the collectors, they're going to major collections, they're going in galleries to sell and to show. So you got to be curious and excited of what you do. Like this morning, I have to go and ship work, and then I got to still continue working. But I always make sure that I have fun with it, even though I can be exhausted or overwhelmed or know there's demands on me. I always make sure that I feel right mentally, I feel right with my body and my gut, knowing that this work feels right to me. I don't create work just to sell and just to make money and just to be like, yeah, boy, look at me. I do got bills to pay. But I look at how I always make sure my voice is in there. I always make sure that I have integrity in the work first and continue the concept and develop it. And to say to go with it is also having fun with it and just feeling right about it. So strategy in the sense of thinking what's the next step, what's the next strategy, what's the next movement. So I know I have a solo show in Taiwan and a solo show in California coming up just now. And I'm going to be showing in Johansson Project Gallery during the time of Miami Art Basel, Miami Art Week in Ontario. So I have to ship work, prepare work. And when you have a solo show, I done it, I try it, like you produce work within a month. But then what happened, you should be really producing a work within 3 months or a year for a solo show. So I did have a solo show in the Buck Gallery in New York. That was my first solo show in New York. And it was amazing because during that time it was busy doing large pieces, about 10 large pieces or medium-sized pieces. And then to see them displayed, not clustered, but in a very minimal way. I felt really, really good because New York is a big, important art space.
Yes.
So it's like you're rich. That's what happened.
Yes. Sheena, I could talk to you forevermore, but I can't. Time is against us. We are so immensely proud. Social media here for us is blowing up with comments. I hope when you get a chance to look back, you see the comments that people are actually saying about you. I'm complimenting you on the great work and your personality. So for all of us, we say thank you for the work that you're doing, and we really want to encourage you to continue doing even more. And with these solo works that you're coming up, these opportunities that are happening, please keep us informed. We want to celebrate with you. So please keep us informed here at Mornin Barbados, okay?
Thank you, Pearson. You have a beautiful day.
You too here. Thank you, Miss Cotton Candy Head. Have a good morning indeed.
Thank you. You have a good day too.
Thank you. Sheena Rose is her name. She is just a fun girl, but she's a Barbadian visual artist, and she's from Bow. Hey, we'll take a break right here. We'll be coming back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Morning Barbados will be coming to your parish live every Friday until November. Stay tuned from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to see which parish we're in. Join us for it all.
Good morning. Morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the Community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The more mature folk come to dance, to sing.
Keep the bones smooth.
Q in the Community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Whether you're coming from north, south, east, or west, we have a bus for you.
Q in the Community.
Stay tuned to Q100.7 FM to find out where we will be next, and follow us on Facebook.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 10 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock, and our next guest hails from one of the most beautiful spots on earth, St. Kitts and Nevis, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Her name is Blesstina Charles. She's a gospel artist. She's just signed with Quest Records. Blesstina, good morning. Blessed good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Welcome to Morning Barbados. Are you here? Because I know you were studying at the University of Cave Hill, or are you in St. Kitts?
I'm in St. Kitts at the moment. Yes, I was at Cave Hill, but I returned a few months ago.
Have you completed your studies?
Yes, I have. Yes, thank you.
Graduation happened yet?
Yes, it was in October. Yes, just about a week and a half ago. It was amazing.
How does it feel to know that you've accomplished all that you set out to do so far?
It feels amazing because it was a sort of delayed gratification. You know, you wait for something for so long, and then you finally get to enjoy it. I feel a sense of pride, and I'm so happy that I finally have completed my studies and so forth.
And you had your studies, you completed it in psychology. You have your bachelor's now in psychology. Yeah, we did a little bit of homework on you. But this is all part of your overall game, because you use what you know from psychology to interpret people, but also to be able to help to change people. And you use that in your music as well, because you're a gospel artist. Talk to me a little bit about that decision to be a gospel artist.
Sure. Well, I got saved when I was about 15 years old, and it has been a journey since then. But I always had a voice to sing, and I've always been trying to figure out how can I merge the two? How can I merge my Christian journey with my singing? And then it has fueled I started, getting passionate about psychology and helping persons. So I've always been trying to find a way to merge all of that together.
And so far, so good.
Yes, please.
I know you've just released in 2022, your latest track is called Freedom, but it's not the only piece that you've released thus far. There's some other music you've released before. How have audiences over time been responding to your ministry?
They have been responding pretty well. They really like the Come release that I put out in 2020, but they seem to like more of the genres that are indigenous to the Caribbean, like the soca and the reggae. They really like the last reggae piece that I put out. I think because most of my audience is Caribbean based, they seem to have a deep appreciation for the genres indigenous to the Caribbean.
Which genre are you most comfortable in?
Well, I really love like soul and worship, but I do have a deep appreciation for reggae, so I'm trying to, dabble in both.
You said you became a Christian at the age of 15 as a young teenage girl, and now you're a full woman. How did you manage the journey? Because temptation is always around us.
Well, I try to stay grounded in the word, and I try to stay connected to people who will encourage me, because sometimes by yourself you feel isolated and you go through different situations, but if you have the right support system, they're able to encourage you, they're able to guide you, they're able to say, you're not alone, and give you words of encouragement. So that has been my go-to, and that has been my guide, and it has been very helpful so far.
That's encouraging for someone this morning. But you made a decision to sign with Quest Records, which is operated by a Barbadian, Carlos Cobham. Talk to me about the relationship and the decision to sign as a gospel artist with Quest.
Sure. So it has been a decision that has been in the making for a while, because I'm very intentional about, who you partner with and whatnot. But I have known Carlos for a little over 2 years now, and I really like the direction that he is going as it relates to music, as it relates to his radio station, and the connections and the partnerships that he has made. So that really influenced my decision, and I think that the time is ripe now, given that, my ministry is growing and it's building. So I think it's really a great time right now for me to partner with him, and I really appreciate him as a person and his business mind and so forth. So I think it will be a fruitful business relationship.
And what does that business relationship entail? What are the outcomes from that relationship do you expect?
Sure. Well, I expect greater exposure, different partnerships and connections, sponsorships, different things like that. And I expect for my music to be connected to persons of a larger audience, like persons in the United States, because he has a radio station and he has connections there. But even beyond that, I really like his mindset, and I like, the direction that he's taking my ministry. Yes. Coming from a small island, St. Kitts and Nevis, sometimes we can be a bit limited in our thinking. So I really like the big mind that he has, and he shows me that, nothing is impossible. And I really think that partnering with him at this point in time was a really great decision.
He truly is a very good guy. I could say that for myself. But your latest release is called Freedom. Talk to me about what that is. What is the genre that it is? Because we want to share it with our audience this morning as well. So tell me more about Freedom.
No problem. So Freedom is a gospel reggae piece, and it's centered around mental health and mental health awareness. So the story behind it is that I really wanted to find a way to help persons because, quite often persons who experience mental health challenges, they often might feel like they don't have a voice, nobody can relate to them, and they might often feel like they're ostracized. So I wanted to give them a voice and provide language for their experience. So that is in the form of a music video, and it depicts somebody who has experienced a mental health challenge, and in the end they're able to overcome it, because I really want to infuse some sense of hope for persons who are experiencing mental health challenges. But of course, putting the gospel spin on it. I really think that it's a song that's necessary, it's needed in a time like this as we come out on the back end of the COVID-19 pandemic.
See how you blended your use in psychology, your studies in psychology with your music there as well. Beautiful ministry.
Yes.
So for anyone watching, they want to find you because they want to book you as well. What are your handles so that we can know how to contact you, apart from Quest Records?
Sure. On Instagram, it's at Official Blestina Music on Instagram. And I have a website, www.officialblestinamusic.com. You can also go to my Facebook fan page, Blestina, that's the name of the fan page. And you can also email me at bookingblestina@gmail.com.
See, we'll go by just one word, Blestina, just the name, then you're big. But you can find her on Instagram on Official Blestina Music. Website is blestinamusic.com. On YouTube, she's Official Blestina Charles. She is just everywhere. And so because she's everywhere, she's free now to share with us a little bit more of Freedom. If we can share with our audience a bit about it. But Blestina, we want to wish you the best with your ministry and all of your future endeavors. And welcome to our space here in Barbados. We hope many people engage with your music, engage with your ministry, and are inspired. And I hope you get the bookings that we hope that God leads for you as well. Thank you so very much, Blestina Charles. Have yourself a great day.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. As we prepare to head to break, can we share a bit of her music? It's called Freedom by Blestina.
Freedom, hold on to your freedom. Way away, freedom. In the book of truth, it talks about to do, all she knew was pain and agony. 12 years of the pain, 12 years of all the shame. So she pressed and reached out, he said, your faith is made you whole, my child. Freedom, freedom, freedom over here. Freedom, freedom, freedom over here. Freedom, freedom over here. Freedom, freedom over here. Whom the sun sets free is truly free indeed. Doesn't matter your age or stage, the Savior will redeem. Ask the one at the well, ask the one who once was dead, ask the one who was blind. He'll tell you what the Savior said. Freedom, freedom, freedom over here. Freedom, freedom, freedom over here. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Look no longer. Freedom, freedom, freedom. You're the living.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
If you just joined us on Morning Barbados and you want to know the news, that's where Ryan Brooms comes in now. Good morning again to you, Ryan.
Good morning, Pearson. Well, Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley is responding to criticisms to move to introduce Barbados National Day and those who see it as an attempt to annihilate the memory of the father of independence, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow. Ms. Motley, in a statement, says this is totally not the case. She says Barbados National Day on November 30th allows the country to celebrate both the attainment of independence and the attainment of becoming a parliamentary republic with a native Barbadian as president. Ms. Motley notes she has seen and heard the comments on social media. She adds she expects some will continue to refer to both events as the day, but for the avoidance of doubt, government has settled on an overall rubric that encompasses both events. Well, a derelict home along Lower Bank Hall Main Road, St. Michael, was destroyed by fire last night. The blaze occurred around 10 p.m. The Barbados Fire Service responded with 7 fire officers and 3 water tenders. The home, located opposite the Sol gas station, was fully engulfed with fire on their arrival. From this year, November 30th will be known as Barbados National Day. This has been revealed by Chairman of the Cabinet Subcommittee in charge of November 30th celebrations, Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams. At a media conference yesterday at Ilaro Court, Minister Abrams said that for the first time in 2 years, due to COVID, there will be a full celebration of any and all things Barbadian for our 56th anniversary of independence and first anniversary as a republic.
The Cabinet of Barbados took the decision to henceforth observe November 30th as Barbados National Day, commemorating our independence from Britain in 1966 and our transition to parliamentary republic in 2021. Indeed, the national events on November 30th will culminate with an entire month of celebration comprising sporting activities, cultural and heritage-inspired activities, including the lighting ceremony which takes place this afternoon. The second humanitarian awards ceremony on November 20th, road tennis, as well as other sporting competitions. NIFCA events are back in full flight, and the Spirit of the Nation pageant, as well as some new events and new activities which will be publicized and promoted with an official calendar of Barbados National Day events coming out later this week.
And as far as the Barbados National Day concert is concerned, the National Cultural Foundation CEO, Carol Roberts-Reefer, noted it will be a 3-pronged event.
On November 30th, for the first ever Barbados National Day concert, those 3 squares will come alive, free to the public, with those 3 projects: the 100 Voice project, the National Steel Orchestra, and the National Youth Orchestra. Just a few hours before that, during the ceremonial parade and the other activities at Kensington Oval on the morning of Barbados National Day, we will also be coordinating a very special cultural presentation. The kernel of it started, Minister, on November 29th at the Pride and Nationhood event in National Hero Square, where the Mass Police and Defence Force bands met up musically with a percussion contingent, again featuring tuk and drums. And we've taken that to another level. We're about to start rehearsals, and all I will say about that is that you should also come out to see that.
And a new state-of-the-art training facility for fire officers is to be constructed in St. Lucie. This was revealed by Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard as the fire service received the keys for a new top-of-the-line tender. CBC's Sharika Griffith reports.
As local officials strive to have Barbados classified as Category 1 status with the International Civil Aviation Organization, efforts are being made to ensure firefighters assigned to the country's airport are properly trained.
We have to train persons specifically for airport firefighting. And right on this compound, we don't have that facility. But we're building out a state-of-the-art facility in St. Lucie to cater to airport firefighting and municipal firefighting, training in search and rescue and all the other aspects. The facility in St. Lucie is at Spring Garden in St. Lucie. It's government land, so we don't have to purchase that land. And it's about between 5 to 7 acres of land.
Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard made the revelation during the commissioning of a new fire tender for the airport. With the arrival of the new appliance, which was delayed approximately 6 months due to supply chain issues, the fire chief says the number of tenders stationed at the airport will remain at 4, as one will be retired.
These that we have, the one to your above you, these are all about 22 years old. And that is really old for a fire appliance. Most countries retire their fire appliances at between 10 to 15 years.
Home Affairs Minister Wilfred Abrams said after being day, along with 2 others, at a price tag of about $3 million.
This tender, crash tender for use at the airport alone took out 1.4 million of that budget. But as you can see when they show you the inside, you will see where the differences lay, and if you can appreciate it, what is required in the crash tender for use at an airport or around aviation fuel or specific circumstances, that is not the same crash tender that you would go out to a house fire.
As for the other 2 tenders, Minister Abrams says they're in production. They will be deployed to the Bridgetown and St. John fire stations. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
The president of the Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors and Entrepreneurs, Alistair Alexander, says local vendors continue to hold their own. Speaking to the Morning Report, he said a number of activities are planned both for the upcoming National Barbados Day celebrations on the 30th of this month, as well as the upcoming Christmas season at Barvin's Mighty Grinder Highway Market. He also says vendors are pleased with the emphasis placed on what they do during the pandemic and their importance as suppliers of healthy food to the nation. And finally, Bridgetown's nightlife was transformed into a spectacular city of lights last evening after national junior swimmer Gabriella Babb flipped the switch around 6:10 p.m. This is one of Barbados' favorite national traditions, returned this year with the Sagicor Life Incorporated lighting ceremony and Bajan Brew. As is customary, the nation's capital was illuminated in the national colors of ultramarine and gold, much to the delight of those gathered. Various performances punctuated the evening's event in a cultural showpiece. President Dame Sandra Mason headlined the dignitaries who filled Independence Square along with cabinet ministers, parish ambassadors, officials and onlookers. Member of Parliament for the City of Bridgetown, Corey Lane, said while the country has been feeling the negative effects of individualism, a move towards nationalism is on the way.
Some of the social ills that we see within the nation is because we've moved from that collective to the meism and the individualism. Though I am sad to report that I am happy and excited to say to you that a change is coming. A change is coming as we continue to support programs like the Caribbean Independence Celebration, where we can reflect not only in nationhood in November, but we reflect nationhood every single month, every single day of the year as we be proud Barbadians.
Pearson, that's it where we are for this edition of the Morning Report. It's back to you.
Ryan, thank you. More news here on TV8 at 12 noon in the CBC News Day. We'll take a break here. We're back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at
morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're now 12 minutes after 7 o'clock. I've been telling you this morning about BioConnect Medical Center. I know you're asking, what is it? Where is it? What services do they offer? Those are the same questions we have for Dr. Roberta Corona, who is the Medical Director of BioConnect Medical Center. Dr. Corona, good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Now let's start at the beginning. Tell us about BioConnect Medical. What is it that you offer?
So BioConnect Medical Center is the first center in Barbados that is specifically made for women transitioning through the menopause. So it's a center, an holistic approach to medicine for midlife women and men as well.
So
men,
did you say
yes.
Men when it comes to menopause?
Yes. They obviously don't go through menopause, but men might have problem of incontinence, might have problems with hormone imbalance, with aging. So it's all about well aging. So this obviously affects women and men. Luckily, we all get old.
Well, why do you think to have a medical center that specifically deals with people with problems associated with what you've just described, why do you think that's important to have?
That's very important because population worldwide is aging, and life expectancy is increasing, thankfully, to science, progress in science. So we are experiencing a growing aging population, and there are no solution for them. Many of these women, especially, are left alone. They feel alone. So we created this space where there is highly specialized medical services, but also cutting-edge technology. For instance, we have the only machine in the Caribbean for pelvic floor therapy for incontinence, urinary incontinence, that permits to treat the problem in a very short time with a non-invasive procedure. So you just sit on a chair 6 times, 6 sessions in 3 weeks, and in 95% of the case, the incontinence disappear or improve significantly. And this is one of those issues that we don't want to talk about. We are ashamed to talk about, but it's extremely important, affect quality of life. And this is only one of the aspects.
Which brings me to the question then, because menopause presents in women sometimes slightly differently. And let's talk about
very different.
And who then do you think should avail themselves of the services? What conditions do you treat, and what are the symptoms that you think you will be looking out for to come to BioConnect Medical Center?
You are very right. Menopause is completely different for every single woman. So sometimes it's difficult for the woman herself to recognize the symptoms. The most frequent are hot flash, night sweat, difficult sleeping, anxiety, depression, vaginal dryness, joint pain, urinary incontinence. but there are so many more, like dry eyes, dry mouth, itchy skin. I can tell you more than 100, and I think that the common symptoms that everyone express when they come to my consultation is I'm losing myself. I don't recognize myself anymore. Something is happening. They feel that something is not right. So they can come when they are feeling lost, and hopefully we can guide them to a better future, because this is just a transition, and on the other side there is so much to do.
Indeed. And sometimes that medical situation affects the psychological condition. And so you're saying we have at BioConnect Medical Center some medical things that we can help you with that helps you to lift your spirit and to see life a whole lot differently. You mentioned earlier the chair. Let's talk a little bit more about that, and how I'm curious as to how that works.
Yes, so it's called Ancella, or someone call it the Kegeltrons. So it's use high focus intensive electromagnetic fields, and it's a chair like the one I'm sitting on. Pretty much, you sit like this, fully clothed, and every session lasts 28 minutes. And the electromagnetic field stimulates the muscles of the pelvic floor, all the muscles. And sitting there for 28 minutes, it's like you do 11,200 Kegels in one session. So, as you can understand, a lifetime would be not enough to do so many Kegels. And these are supramaximal, so are extremely effective.
So talk to me about the results. I mean, you're saying to me it's super effective. What are some of the success stories so that we can get a sense of how really critical it is to come to BioConnect Medical Center?
Yeah, you should listen to some of our patients. They say they change their life because it's really affect your quality of life if you have incontinence. So these are women that before wake up at night 5-6 times to go to the bathroom, or they need to look for the gas station during the trip to somewhere because they need to stop to go to the bathroom. Many were not traveling anymore, not long travels, because they just cannot. If they need to sit on a plane with a seatbelt, they might not be go to the bathroom in time. So doing this treatment, it's really empowering. It really can change life of people.
You talked about men availing themselves of the services as well, again because of the incontinence.
Yes, the incontinence or hormone imbalance in general, so the testosterone can go down, so sex drive, but also men with erectile dysfunction might have a low testosterone, for instance. Men a little bit older might have prostate problems, and this can cause incontinence. So having a strong pelvic floor will certainly help to solve these problems.
One of the other services you offer, apart from the Ancella chair, is the M-Sculpt. Talk to me about that.
The M-Sculpt is a wonderful machine. It can be combined with the Ancella and basically stimulate the abdominal wall, but also the gluteus. So if you combine Ancella and the M-Sculpt, is what we call core-to-floor treatment. So it's a protocol that strengthens significantly the core. And this can be extremely important for women, for instance, with osteoporosis. They need to be strong. They cannot fall, because if they fall, they might have a fracture. But also, it's a machine that stimulates muscles in general, so it can be used by people with multiple sclerosis or that are recovering from a fracture, from injuries, and also athletes after an injury, or in those holiday period they don't want to lose the strength of the muscles, and so they can avail of this wonderful machine.
So how can we contact you and get the services of BioConnect Medical Center? Where are you, and what's the means of contact?
So you can contact us by phone. You can just digit BioConnect. Bio is 246 and Connect stays for 2666328. You can also send an email at care@bioconnectmedical.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at BioConnect Medical.
BioConnect Medical is on Facebook and on social. Telephone number 266-6328, 266-6328. Ladies with menopause, men with incontinence issues, prostate issues, and so on. Social media is all there. Get to know more because those services you can avail yourself of as of today. You can send an email to care@bioconnectmedical.com. Online, their website is bioconnectmedical.com. Her name is Dr. Roberta Corona. She and her team are anxious to serve you today, Barbados. It's the first for Barbados and the Caribbean, and so that's why you need to go. As soon as possible, contact them on 266-6328. Book your appointment and see the results that Dr. Corona has been telling us about, that so many other people are talking about as well. Dr. Corona, thank you so much for joining us and much success with the BioConnect Medical Center.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
All right, so have a good day. Thank you, ma'am. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back to talk HR with Hermab in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
23 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock this Wednesday morning. Don't forget, coming up on Friday, we're heading out to the parish of St. Lucy's. Folks, I want to see you there. We're heading to North Stars. That's where we shall be. And I'm hoping very soon I can stay connected with the folks on the radio and TV as well. So look out for that on Friday morning. Wake up bright and early. We shall be there. We shall be there. We're moving to St. Lucy's. So come with me as I take you to my parish and introduce you to the beautiful people and the wonderful things. Now, let's talk HR with Hermab this Wednesday morning. Today we want to look a little bit at this whole question of work-life integration. What is that about? Joining me now to talk more about that is Celia Collymore, who's a Senior Project Manager with Bajan Fusion, and with her is Atoya Hines, Membership and Activities Chair with Hermab. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for asking. I hope both of you are well as well. I want to start with you, Atoya. We know about work-life balance. We're talking now about work-life integration. What's the difference and what is the definition of work-life integration?
Hi, good morning, Pearson. Good morning, viewers. So work-life integration is really balancing or really merging, right, work and life. Gone are the days, Pearson, where we could separate the two. If COVID taught us anything, it is that, and companies want to increase productivity, persons want to be more accessible to businesses, and businesses want to really keep generating that interaction between the customer and the employees, right? So in order to really keep that going, employees are finding it difficult to really separate. Okay, we're here from 9 to 5. We're not answering any telephone calls after 5 o'clock. We're not logging into any conferences after 5 o'clock. That line is now crossed. That line is now blurred. So work-life balance is meeting the employees where they are and actually having that balance to their work life.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that really look like, Pearson? That really looks like having flexible time within the organization, really having breaks for persons to really have time to really collect their children, pick up and drop off from school on mornings, right? Creating a good mental health for employees is very important, and that is what work-life integration is really all about within the organization.
I can hear bosses saying, "You kidding me? Listen to me. I am not about allowing them to do what they want to do when they want to do what they want to do. This is about my business and my profits." So how do we strike that balance so that we do integrate the reality of the humanity of the individual with the success of this business? How do we do this?
And that is reasonable, Pearson. That is absolutely reasonable. I would have mentioned just now that the line is, before it was a blurred line, but now that line is gone. There's no longer, turning off from work at 5 o'clock, right? But if you want to attract the most valuable talent pool, right, and really retain your best employees, then you have to look at flexibility. Then you look at, because you want to keep increasing your productivity, and let me be honest, you want to reach your bottom line. You want to increase those profits for your organization. You want to have that competitive advantage, Pearson. Right? So that is what is really in it for the employer. So when an employer offers this type of offer flexibility to employees, then what do you think happens, Pearson? When an employer begins to care about their employee, right? And the employee feels that they care about their family, they care about their having to go and collect their children from school, they care about their having to go and take time off to really assist with a family situation without really sticking to that, okay, you have to be back from lunch in an hour time, or you have to be at work and clock in from 9 to 5. What do you think happens, Pearson?
That's a relationship question here, because if I feel that you're good to me, I can be good to you. And if I don't feel that you are going to be good to me, I will probably not be as good to you as you would expect me to be. But that's all well and good. But at the end of the day, everyone asks, what's in it for me? When I give up, what am I getting in return, having emptied myself in that kind of way? And that's where I come to you, Celia. What's important here so that we understand this relationship as we seek to work on work-life integration?
Thank you, Pearson. Work-life integration for me is really team effort, where employer and employee, they come to that level of understanding what work-life integration is, and then being able to incorporate it into their day-to-day. So an employer creates the culture of the organization. If you hire me today, you're able to communicate with me what work-life integration looks like for both persons. And as employees understand the culture of the organization, they also have the opportunity to share with the employer what their needs are, yes, and what their work style is. And both parties then come together and create a plan of action where now employer can be satisfied and employee can be satisfied within the workspace. And persons also to me, but how do you do it? You start with the conversation, but then you start to create programs and activities where the employer is giving you what you need, you are doing what you need to do within the organization as well, so that all of you can move forward with satisfaction, and you're creating that it has to be a healthy work-life integration. There are 24 hours in a day, and when you think about your work day, work is a critical element of life. Life encapsulates everything, but work is a critical element, and it also supports you in terms of you surviving and thriving in your day-to-day and within the marketplace. So it's important that while you are at work, you are doing good work, and even if you have challenges within your home life, it's important that you share that information with your employer so that they can support you on the journey as well. I say to people all the time, you have to bring your whole self to work. You can't leave your personal life at work. And if you're having challenges, it's important then for the employer to know so that then they can support you on the journey. So work-life integration is important. It's really blending your personal and your professional life and finding ways where you can integrate the elements, but you can do it efficiently and you can do it productively.
I hear it when it says, I'm coming to the office and I'm bringing my full self. Get that. But when I leave the office, I'm not bringing that office self home with me. I need my space. I need my moment to breathe and just do me. How does the work integration affect the individual at home? And I want to hear from you, Atoya, on this one. How do I take work home? Don't I need to cut off at some point and say, this is me now, this is my time?
Absolutely, Pearson. It's important to set boundaries, not just for the employer, but for the employees itself. Without setting boundaries, you can have high levels of stress. And we all know that when we have high levels of stress, we cannot function properly. So it affects our mental health and it affects our physical health. But going back to a point that Celia would have made, in setting boundaries, you can say, Pearson, I'm not sure if you are a morning person or you may be an afternoon person. So in setting boundaries, you can have that conversation with the employer, with your HR team. And this is usually advice to be had, at the time of hiring. And be honest with your employer. I have a child at school, or I am pursuing studies. I can be available before hours. I can start my day maybe at 6 o'clock in the morning, as opposed to the traditional 8 o'clock. That way I am more productive, and I am giving the employer the time that they actually need. And then I will need to take a break, because it is encouraged more so than ever now, Pearson, especially with COVID and always being connected to technology, that you take breaks in between your job, because it just reduces your stress level. You can take a break, you can have maybe exercise class in there, to really de-stress and then connect to work again. You may be an afternoon person, so you decide that you speak to your employer and you can see if you can sign in a bit later in the afternoon. That is when you're more productive. So it is a win-win situation for the employer and the employee. They are both getting what they need, and that is what work-life balance is about. We often find, Pearson, that in the absence of work-life balance, we speak about diversity, inclusion, and equitable work environments. And without work-life balance, it is a bit skewed at times. It is skewed in the sense that sometimes the platform is not level for all employees, especially employees who may have to, who may have children, who may have to take care of an ailing family member. Yes?
Mm-hmm. As life goes, there has to be a degree of flexibility, a bit of give and take. Because while I may have sat with my HR and said, I'm a morning person, so don't schedule meetings after 2 o'clock. I would want to be free in the afternoon to do this or that. There are times when life happens and the employer says, employee, I would like for you now at 2 o'clock to do X, Y, and Z. Should I say to them, we had an agreement. We had an agreement. You know who I am. And we're talking about life integration here. And because you know who I am, you should understand, because I ain't doing it. Should that be the attitude generally of an employee having had struck this work-life balance and integration?
Absolutely not, Pearson. That's what is important, to have communication.
Yes.
Yes. So obviously you have that ongoing communication, you have that check-in, and you create that culture within your organization that is an open door culture, that we can have those discussions so that the employees will make the necessary arrangement. So you can have different type of plans. You can have an individual plan, or you can have a group plan where you can go in and you can organization actually say, okay, this is a plan we set up for our employees who have parents, or employees who have who are pursuing higher levels of studying. Well, this is not fixed. It's not fixed. And we allow you flexibility. We want you to understand where we're coming from. So not every time you may be able to accommodate you, and from time to time you may be required to, to step out of that. It is a conversation. It is creating that organization culture that makes it a happy place to work, because once employees are happy, they produce. And to be honest, Pearson, that is what an organization wants. At the end of the day, they want productivity. They want to reach their targets. They want to be that employer of choice. They want to have that strong brand reputation, and they also want to have that competitive advantage.
And for a lot of people, that is bottom line, money, processes, and so forth, not people. And so how do we, Celia, strike this? Because it's a cultural shift that we're talking about when we talk about work integration here, work-life integration. So how do we begin this cultural shift within organizations, and who takes the lead on this?
Yes, so it starts with at the top. So leadership having the conversation with HR and then being able to funnel that information down to the employee. But it's also important to get the feedback from the employee as to what are the things that they would like to know, like to learn, like to do. So it becomes a team effort, even though leader and in HR, they're going to be the persons who will be streamlining the process. So when it comes to, so let's say you're having conversations within the workplace and many of your employees are having health related problems or injury, it's important then to create a wellness program. And what does that look like for the employer? What does that look like for the employee? What are the things that we're doing daily, weekly, monthly, yearly to make sure that everyone is on the same page and everyone is satisfied within the workplace? So striking that balance, I would say in that integration is important, but you have to have that plan of action. So like I mentioned, whether it is the wellness programs, whether it's a flexible work arrangement, whatever the needs of the employee is, the employer should be able to create that program that satisfies the efforts of the employee. And once employees receive the things that they need, it's important that they produce effectively within the workplace.
Change takes time, change requires time. And so for all HR practitioners and bosses listening today, it takes time. It starts, however, with that conversation and discussion and with the will and intent and with the truth to carry it through over time, so you see the change over time. Be patient enough to allow that change to happen over time. We're asking for a change of habit, and change of habit requires a replacement of a habit with a good habit, not to simply stop, but to do something right better the next time around. And so this is a conversation that definitely needs to continue, this work-life integration that we're talking about. If we're going to become world-class, as we're required to be, then we've got to start thinking and working world-class so that the habit becomes long-term. I want to thank both of you really for engaging in such an interesting discussion. You all know this is my favorite part of the Wednesday morning, Talking HR with Hermab. I want to encourage as many of you as possible to go onto the website, hrmab.org.bb. You can get to know more, interact with these ladies and other human resource professionals as well. Membership brings benefits. I keep saying that to you, so consider memberships as well. I know Atoya is very keen on that. So contact Hermab and see how you can become a member and you benefit from the wealth of experience that come from these folks at Hermab. Thanks both of you, Celia Collymore and Atoya Hines, for joining us this morning and for engaging with us on the whole question of work integration. It's more than simply work-life balance, but work-life integration as we build out a new society. All the best. Thank you. All right, we'll take a break here on Morning Barbados. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Morning Barbados will be coming to your parish live every Friday until November. Stay tuned from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to see which parish we're in. Join us for it all.
Good morning. Morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the Community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The more mature folk come to dance, to sing.
Scrape the bones, smooth.
Q in the Community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Whether you're coming from north, south, east, or west, we have a bus for you.
Q in the community.
Stay tuned to Q100.7 FM to find out where we will be next. And follow us on Facebook. Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Time, Barbados, to know Barbados and win. Time for you to give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. I was thinking radio for just a moment. So call me on those numbers. We'll give you a picture to look on your screen and you will identify where that is. And when you do so correctly, we'll take your name and contact details and we'll put it in the box for that weekly draw. Now look at this. Can you tell me, if you know Barbados, can you tell me where this is? Call me now, 228-5562, 228-5563. Let's see how well you know Barbados. A chance for you to win thanks to our partners, Purity Bakeries, the Barbados Beach Club, Seabreeze House, Aqua Spa, Oro Restaurant, Ross Trevor Hotel, and Golden Sands Hotel. Time to know, where is this? Tell me, 228-5562 or 228-5563. Answer it correctly. We'll take some details from you. We'll make a draw at the end of the week. On Monday morning, we'll tell you who is the weekly winner. Good morning to you. Hello.
Hi, good morning, Kirsten.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm well, thank you. I like the smile in your voice. What's your first name and what parish are you calling from?
Tamika, I'm calling from St. Michael.
Hello, Tamika. Do you think you know where this is?
I don't have a clue, but I am going to try here.
Let me hear you.
I remember going somewhere and it looked like this. So, what do you call up there now?
Where did you go?
It was the Animal Flower Cave up River Bay.
Huh?
Tamika, you're making me laugh. Is that River Bay?
Don't ask me questions. Tell me, where do you think... Is this your final answer?
Yes, it looks like River Bay. I'm not calling it the Animal Flower Cave, just saying that I went to the Animal Flower Cave and it just went around a certain way and it looked like that.
So you're telling me this picture you're looking at is River Bay?
Yes.
And so you've walked up onto the cliff at River Bay?
Yes.
And you looked over and this is what you saw?
It's close. Yes.
Yes, Tamika. But wrong, Tamika. Tamika, get out here.
Oh,
have a good day.
I tried. Okay, thank you.
You tried. No. Let's take another call. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I thought. Anyway, let me shut my mouth. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I am very well, thank you for asking. What's your first name and what parish are you calling from?
Tony Ann in St. James.
Hello, Tony Ann in St. James. Now, this is not St. James, right?
I don't think so. My daughter thinks she knows, so I'm trusting that she told me the right thing.
What did your daughter tell you?
She told me the Animal Flower Cave in St. Lucie.
So you're trusting your daughter? How much older? How old is she?
She's 22.
And you really believe a 22-year-old?
I trust in her because she's young and she's all about on the bus and so I believe she would know.
But the bus does not drive into Animal Flower Cave, so how could you use that as your reason?
Because she also works with children, so she does a lot of touring around the island.
Okay, so she is convinced that this is Animal Flower Cave.
Yes, she is, and if she's wrong, I'm going to be so mad.
So Tony Ann, if she is wrong, what will you do to her?
I don't know. I really don't know what to do with her. She probably would be outside.
That she will make you come on TV and make yourself shame, right?
Sometimes children do that to you, you know.
I know. That's why I asked if you would trust her answer.
I'm trusting her because because they said to her, I think it's in St. Andrew, and she said, no, Mommy, that's in St. Lucie.
Well, you're a very trusting mother, I'm telling you for real. And you're trusting for good reason because she's right. It is indeed at the Animal Flower Cave. So now you know, if she said to you, Mommy, give me $2,000, I am going to, you have to trust her.
Well, if I win, yes, it will be hers.
No problem. You stay on the line. We'll take some more details from you, okay?
Yes, please.
So stay on the line there. She's absolutely, and she's from St. James. And she's correct when she said Animal Flower Cave. Our first caller was so close, but she went over to River Bay. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Tomorrow, we'll give you another opportunity. I gave her a choice. My production crew is telling me, yeah, but I know, but I gave her a choice. She chose one. She chose River Bay. All right. So what we'll do right here, once we know, tomorrow we'll give you another chance to know Barbados and get your name into the box for that weekly draw. Big thank you to our supporters, Purity Bakeries, Barbados Beach Club, Seabreeze House, Aqua Spa, Oro Restaurant, Ross River Hotel, and Golden Sands Hotel. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back with just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
13 now to go to 8 o'clock. The second edition of Gimme Peace on the Mic is on, hosted by the Division of Youth Affairs. And joining us to talk about this year's edition is Corey Marshall, who's a project coordinator, along with two of the contestants, Theo Greenidge and Samuel Thompson. Good morning to each of you.
Good morning. Hey, good morning, Pearson.
All right. Corey, second year, paint the picture for us.
Yes, we are into the second edition of Give Me Peace on the Mic. We actually launched, just to put it into context and give a bit of background, we actually launched the program last year as part of the rigorous anti-violence campaign put on by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment. So we launched back in July last year. We saw it as an intervention strategy to circumvent the recent spate of crime that we were having at the time. So we wanted young persons to weigh into the national discourse as it relates to the situation of crime in Barbados. Because if we want to see the young persons as the main victim and the perpetrators of crime, then we need to have them involved in the discussion as it relates to intervention strategies to counteract the crime in Barbados. So out of that, Give Me Peace on the Mic was born. It is a chanting competition for young persons. We don't limit the creativity of the young persons, so it's a chanting competition. Young persons submit a 1-minute clip to the ministry. We vet it, we post it on our Instagram page, TheView246. Then by voting process, we select the top 5, and then the committee has the opportunity to select a wild card to go forward to the finals as well. And the finals is right there at CBC Studio. CBC is one of the partners in the fight against crime. We are trying to arrest crime, and we know it takes everyone. So CBC has partnered with us for the second year running. So the finals will be right there at CBC on November 5th, which is this Saturday coming. So we'll be right there at CBC to showcase the talent of the young persons and their creativity as they lend their voice to the fight against violence.
Okay, so DivYouth246 on Instagram is where we would have gone and we would have seen the content. How many people would make it to the are making it to the final on Saturday?
we have 6 persons going forward to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
With us this morning, we have Samuel Thompson, and we also have Theo Greenwich. But along with those, we have Brianna Bartlett, we have Donald Leacock, we have our wild card this year as well, Joshua Moore, and we have another Josh. We have Joshua Oxley. He's actually the only contestant that is with us for the 2nd year running. He was involved in the competition last year as well.
Yes, Josh Ox, remember him. So Theo,
Correct.
Here it is now. You're into the final. Talk to me a little bit about what we can expect from you.
You can expect honesty, honest criticism, addressing the current rate in Barbados. I speak a lot on my platforms. I speak a lot on, as a poet in Barbados. Sorry, I speak a lot on violence in problematic communities. That is one of my most talked about sessions on any open mic or any job that I do, pretty much. You can expect me to be fun, energetic, and also entertaining.
Well, let's take a look at what you've entered with and see if you were fun, energetic, and entertaining. Those are the words you used. Let's take a look at Theo's performance, Theo Greenwich.
Give me peace on the mic, because I don't seem to got no peace left in sight. We're in a season of scarcity, where job opportunities must be met with at least 5 CXCs, and troubled teens coming from unfortunate families growing up in problematic communities get no sympathy from society. And then we expect them to go and compete against the Ivy Leagues. If education truly still is indeed the key, Ministry of Youth, we need to give these teens better tutelage. They need to be given an advantage instead of being taken advantage of. Implementing subjects like joinery and carpentry, giving a sense of direction to the youth that don't fit into the current school system. We need to create a path that leads beyond the blocks. In order for the violence among the youth to stop, we need to occupy their brains with positive imagery, providing an option for them to pursue after leaving schools, and make the children believe that they can do whatever they believe in. Lower their brains with conflict resolution and teach them that every action must be met with accountability.
All right. That's Theo's entry. Samuel, you're also into the final coming up on Saturday. Why did you enter?
Yes, please. Okay. So, first of all, I'm also pursuing a music career.
Mm-hmm.
And my music is focused on promoting positivity and raising awareness. So when I saw the competition, it just perfectly aligned, because this is what it's all about. So I also entered one last year, the I Choose Life competition, and it was along the same lines. And then after that, I saw the Gimme Peace on the mic, and I was like, wow, if I had known I would have entered that as well. So fortunately this year, I saw it early, and as soon as I saw it was automatic, I had to be in the competition.
You answered the question I wanted to ask you, whether you'd seen last year's final, and your answer is yes, you did indeed. And so you've entered a piece. What's your piece called?
Well, I just based it off the rules, Give Me Peace on the mic, and it's about elevating the youth through education.
All right, let's take a look at that entry as well, coming in this time now from Samuel Thompson, who's in the finals of Give Me Peace on the Mic on Saturday.
Give me peace on the mic. For this violence among youth to stop, we need to show them love and let's see what they can really do. Teach them that reading is essential. Let them know that they have a lot of potential. To survive, everybody gotta make a time. But badness is just a waste of time. Don't underestimate the power of your mind. Dream big, big, big. The vision of you. We need to step into the community. Take a good look around, tell me what you see. Lend a listening ear to the streets. For elevation we need education. Teach them skills and innovation. Show them how to find occupation. Cause when you're idle it's easy for Satan to put bad thoughts in your meditation. We must help them without hesitation. Bring more positive motivation for the future of the nation. The vision of you we need.
That's Samuel Thompson. That's his entry into the final as well. Back to you, Corey. In a minute, I want you to give me the synopsis now. So the final is on Saturday. What time? And for those who are going to be watching, how can they vote?
Okay. for this year. Last year we did the voting process for the finals. This year it will be strictly judges. We encountered some technical problems on getting the votes in and counted. So this year it will be judges only. We have a panel of 3 judges. But to answer the other question on the time of the finals will be live on CBC Channel 8. It will also be on CBC's YouTube page and be on Zoom as well. We will be sending out the Zoom link. The finals will be from 4 until 6 p.m. on Saturday.
All right. So
And
Saturday.
I just want to take this opportunity very, very quickly to mention the prizes that are up for grabs because while we want to promote the message, we also want to reward the young persons for their creativity. So we have some attractive prizes on offer. First place is a S22 Plus Samsung and $1,000 cash. Second prize is a S21 and $750 cash. And third prize is the A72 and $500 cash.
Right, significant prizes indeed. We'll share tomorrow some more of the finalists as well. But I want to thank each of you for joining us this morning. And best of luck, gentlemen, Samuel and Theo, on Saturday's final. Corey, much success. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, don't forget the finals is on Saturday at 4 o'clock here on TV8. A break. And when we come back, Bajan sayings and meanings. I want to test how well you know those Bajan sayings and meanings as well. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another?
So short times, we got to get cracking, folks. 228-5562, 228-5563. Don't have a lot of time. Let's see how quick you can be on the draw. Tell me, what does this mean? This first one, no name, no blame, no lockup.
Give me
No
peace on
name,
you,
no blame, no lockup.
Don't seem to got no peace left in sight.
228-5562 or
We're in a season of
228-5563.
scarcity, where job opportunities must be met with at least 5 CXCs and troubled teens coming.
Something else is in my ear. 228-5562 or 228-5563. No name, no blame, no lockup. What does that mean? Do you think as a Bajan, you know what that means? No name, no blame, no lockup. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What does that Bajan saying mean? I'd love to hear from you. No name, no blame, no lockup. You don't have a lot of time. Come on, folks. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I don't understand what kind of Bajan you are. You should know this off the top of your head because it might be a part of your everyday language. So, no name, no blame, no lockup. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, morning, person.
Hi, morning. Billy?
Pardon?
Okay, go ahead. Tell me, what does this mean?
I think it means if you don't call somebody's name, you don't take the blame.
If you don't call anybody's name, you can't. If I don't call anyone's name, I can't take the blame?
No name, no blame. You ain't taking the blame for nothing. You know?
The name,
No name, no blame, no locker. You can't get in trouble, you know, for calling somebody's name or whatever.
Come on, judges, tell me here. She's thinking, if I don't call the name, I can't be blamed for anything because I didn't reveal.
On like a radio show, you know, you're talking about a topic, but you're not calling the person's name. You're just dealing with the topic. So the name, the blame, the lock up.
Okay, that's all. I don't call the name, so I can't be blamed, so therefore you can't lock me up.
Right.
In other words, you are spot on. You're a good Bajan here. Like, what's your first name?
Sonia.
Sonia, you were spot
glad
on.
to
Well
have you
done,
back.
Sonia. Thank
Sonia
you.
from
Bless your
Beacon.
heart. Bless your heart, Soli. Have a good day, okay?
Okay.
The name, the blame, the lockup. Behave yourself. All right, that's it for today, everybody. Look at that. The time always gets away from us, but we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. My producer has been Alicia Asgrant. Technical director is Rural Ford. Sound engineer Michael Sobers at Master Control. The one, the only, Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Bowen. For all of them, to each of you, we say thank you. See you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.